As a writer, I'm always looking for ways to trick myself into writing more and writing better. And one of those ways that I've discovered is to write in really, really cheap notebooks. The cheapest that I can find, in fact. And there's a reason for that. The reason is that when I'm writing in a really cheap notebook like this one, which is something you can pick up for sale at 10 cents a piece at Target during back to school time. So because it's so cheap, I feel like I can just let my ideas flow and put down the good ideas with the bad and don't worry about wasting paper and, nothing's precious in these notebooks. It's a great way to write a first draft when you don't want to be editing things. You just want to be letting the ideas flow. So writing in super cheap notebooks is a way that I've discovered to allow myself to do that. On the other hand, there are these really fancy notebooks that you can buy at fancy gift shops, and people sometimes give me these notebooks, which is very sweet of them. Unfortunately, I don't have an easy time writing in these because they're so beautiful and precious that I feel like, I can only write beautiful, precious things in them. And to be honest, most of what I write is bad. Most of what I write is thrown away, and then out of the big pile of words that I make, I can pick out a few that become stories that then can become books. But it takes a lot of just letting it flow to get to those good ideas. And for some reason, I just feel like I can't let it flow in such a beautiful book. So unfortunately, as you can see, this book is totally blank, waiting for brilliant poems which will one day just flow from my pen perfectly onto the page. Not likely. But so this notebook, on the other hand, is totally full of terrible ideas and some good ideas. Another thing that I like to do that's kind of fun is I decorate the covers of the cheap notebooks so they don't feel quite so cheap and they feel more personal too. And I do that with just colorful paper that I have lying around. These were some Mexican playing cards that I glued on with a glue stick, and this is an old map from Paris. And if you wanted to make one, I was going to make one later with this Chinese food menu, which came free with my Chinese food order. All you do is just cut it up and glue it onto the cover, and then I do like to sort of laminate it with some packaging tape. And you can also do, sometimes I put a little bit of glitter to be fancy, or some feathers under the tape just to make them personal. And it also makes the notebooks easy to identify. Let's say, oh, this Chinese food project, I remember that's the notebook where my story about the horse is. And so I can easily find the different ideas and stories that I have going, because I usually have a few things going at the same time. So that's a fun little project to get you back into the swing of writing, hopefully, and put aside those precious leather notebooks if you're having trouble writing in them, and pick up some really, really cheap, crappy notebooks from Target and just let the words flow.